writing is much easier for a child than reading.
Why?
Because there are so many things that you have to keep in mind when you read. But writing is something that you produce there and then. And I, for example, I have 3 children, and all of them have learned write first. Writing has come first, and then reading. And actually, there has been almost a year between those two things.
Ressu Comprehensive School is a school for grades 1 to 9. It is a world IB school, so we actually have the international baccalaureate program here for all of our students. We provide education in 2 languages. We are a neighboring area school for the Finnish kids who live in the exact center of Helsinki. And then we also have English-speaking stream, and those kids are applying here according to their level of English language. I have been working as a principal for about 20 years, and before I came here I was working as a principal in the city of Salo. And in my previous school there were a couple of special education teachers who had been educated for this Trageton program, and they were using it for the special education children. And also they were really emphasizing on how to use all the 10 fingers for writing, and they were successful and actually enjoyed to use this program in their teaching. In that school I also wanted to concentrate on inclusive education in that way that eventually these kids with special needs problems were included to bigger groups with the class teacher, so that we formed groups of 26 children with 2 teachers, a class teacher, a special educationist and a class assistant as well. And eventually all of them were using this program to go forward with this playful writing. And not totally. I think it was a mixture of the traditional Finnish way and this way.
Of course.
I have been seeing the Meriusva school in Espoo for some 5 years ago, and I took some of the Keskusta school teachers to see Meriusva school before we opened this collaboration project in Keskusta school, and we were also seeing in action while kids were writing with their computers. The primary years program is for the first 4 years of schooling, and every year is divided in 6 different units, who we are, and then it goes to where we are in place and time, how we express ourselves, how the world works, and how we organize ourselves, and then eventually sharing the planet.
It's just like Dewey from 1896.
I know, this actually suits to many of the old traditional ways of thinking about education and learning. And the written school curriculum is here in the center. So we actually do respect, for the full esteem, everything about the core curriculum. The middle years program is a little bit different, because then we emphasize different subject areas that are kind of combined together, and teacher collaboration between these areas is really important. One of the important things is the learner profile, and this is where we come back to Trageton system. They are inquirers, communicators, thinkers, risk takers. They are knowledgeable, principled, caring, open-minded, well-balanced and reflective. And isn't this all about the system that you have created yourself? So this interests me, that how this Trageton system for learning to write and eventually read, and IB, philosophical thinking behind IB, suits together. In Ressu Comprehensive School, one of the present teachers we have here has done her master's degree in this Trageton. Yeah. And now she's working here as a first grade teacher.
I'm the special needs teacher in this Ressu Comprehensive School here in Helsinki. Well, I went to this course something like 5 years ago with 2 colleagues of mine. We had to make a little experiment in our school. We organized at least one classroom according to your suggestions. And we found it really, really useful, and we worked in these different pots with different kind of action in each one, and changed after every 15 to 20 minutes, and it was really good for the first graders.
I'm Anna-Stina Tuopinen. I teach first grade here at Ressu Comprehensive School. And I have done my bachelor's and master's thesis on the writing to read. I originally met up with Marjatta Takala, who was looking for people who would research. That's where I got the idea. I didn't do my thesis at that point, but I got back to it later on because I was very interested in new ways of teaching how to read. So I interviewed 6 teachers from 5 different schools. And I asked them about, first, like why they wanted to use this and if they had found it beneficial, what were the good and bad sides about it, how they actually use it in their classroom. Because I noticed that there's one way of using the method described in your book, but the teachers are actually doing something a bit different. So I was figuring out what they're actually doing, why they are leaving some parts out, and if there's something that all of them think is good.
There is no right way to do it in practice. Every teacher has to find his way.
So for instance, I noticed that none of the teachers who I interviewed had delayed the handwriting, but everyone was using the fact that the pairs were working together on a computer, and they all found that very useful.
Why?
Because the kids learn so much from each other, and it's informal, so I'm a strong believer in that. And the fact that it's playful, because that motivates the children, because the children get to do creative writing from the start. They don't have to learn how to write by hand first, which is very difficult, so they can already be writing stories.
Is it good to delay the handwriting?
I don't know, because I have never tried delaying it. I'm a young teacher, so there's a strong tradition in Finland that you start the handwriting from the start. I think it could be possible to delay it, say, with maybe start in the springtime. I don't think it's necessarily harmful to start it together with the typing. So in first grade we only do the print. The new curriculum, we only teach one way of writing. We have the library here, and the computers are over there.
A problem then you can not use it spontaneous.
Yes. Sometimes I take the chairs away so they can stand, but they seem to prefer to sit.
If you should have them
here, where should you have them? If you should have 4 computers.
Good question. 2 here. Like move that. With a smaller table, there would be 2 kids here on the computer here, and then 2 children over here.
Where should you have the
other 2 computers?
I'm not sure.
In the original plan, you had the table for the computers in the middle of the classroom, and the children were standing and doing the writing right here, and then on the other side. So I think we had 4 at least in those classrooms. Now we only have them in the computer lab.
If you get recycled computers, so you get them free.
Most of the children have these old computers at home. They might even bring one. We were talking about that option during the course.
So they have taken most of their work home. We started off with them just doing the letter streams. This is from the beginning of maybe October. So they're still writing some of the words together, but already some are apart. Writing a story already. It's a story about how they're at the mine and they're going to, they like to write about agents and bad guys, good guys fighting. So this is the Lollipop Land.
Lollipop Land.
Yeah, so everyone could write about what they wanted. This is about an evil witch.
Here you have the house to the evil witch.
So they have done their own storybook. The witch has turned the little girl into a frog, and the frog is getting a key to escape from the cage.
A long story.
The main character is escaping, and he's moving somewhere else.
The difference between the bachelor and the master.
So it's the same teachers and the same interview, but I have analyzed the answers to different questions because we had a long talk about many different things. So this master's degree focuses on how the teachers use the method, like what is their way of implicating it, and why they are leaving some parts out, and why they are keeping some parts that they have read in the book. They found that it was very beneficial for their gifted students, and it was good for everyone. They didn't think it was really bad for anyone. And it was good because if you have a class where kids are at different levels, then this is a very nice way to differentiate the work.
Are you using peer?
Yes, they work with a partner, and I find it very beneficial.
Why?
I switch the partners a lot, so they learn from each other, and I think it also makes the class environment nicer because they get to know each other.
Do you change the pair often?
Yes.
How often could that be?
Well, if they're in the middle of the project, they can finish it, and for the next project, I'll switch the partners.
How much computer writing in per week could it be?
Per week, it's mostly one lesson.
One lesson a week.
Yeah.
If it had been in a classroom, it could be 3 or 4 or 6 lessons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm Merituuli Varama from Saunalahti School, Espoo.
What about writing to read?
Well, that's something we have been doing for 7 years now and have had marvelous results.
Yeah, so that is better than reading and writing we have done in 200 years.
No way. We went to your course. That was 2008. Luckily, I got one special needs teacher and one colleague of mine with me, so we were 3 together in the same course.
Is that important?
It was important, yes, because we could share the ideas and we could start using this method in our school. And it spread, and we had very good results. Luckily, we were not the only ones from Espoo. There were some other teachers as well, and we all thought that this would something new, something that we haven't done before, something that could help children to learn. So we decided to have a project in Espoo. It was a very good project because there were quite many schools participating in this project, and everybody had their own ideas and the ways they used this, and it's all documented in this book. Well, this is, for example, what we did in our school, because we had preschoolers and first and second graders, what we used to have that time. Professor Marjatta Takala, who participated in this project as well with her students, and they had master's theses and some bachelor's theses here as well. Veli-Jussi Kyllijoki is one of the principals in Espoo, and he was one of the teachers who was in your course. He was the one who took care of this publication. That was a follow-up course for those who have been already in one of your courses, and so we continued there, went deeper for those who wanted to spread the good news. After that, we were able to have courses ourselves. We have done that very many times, well, more than a dozen.
How many teachers?
Between 200 and 300 something. But if we take the short ones as well, then it's over 500.
You have a third person also in these courses?
Yes, my dear colleague Päivi Järvinen. She is a kindergarten teacher, preschool teacher.
And now you have a course tomorrow?
Yes, in Borgo with Päivi and Veli-Jussi. This was the first book translated in Finnish. Unfortunately, its name is wrong. It should be kirjoittamalla lukemaan. Writing should be first. Well, we are looking forward to having this in Finnish as well, because it has more knowledge about this strategy and some theses and some other things that are very interesting and practical as well. Quite many Finns can read it in Swedish as well, but to have it in common knowledge, it would be better to have it in Finnish. I work with my colleague Päivi Järvinen, who is a preschool teacher, so we have a class together. So we are 2 teachers and 1 class, first graders with special needs and those who are preschoolers. And it is very important to give preschoolers too an opportunity to learn to write and to read.
my name is Kumpulainen. I work as a professor of education here at the Department of Teacher Education, University of Helsinki. I'm also the scientific director of a newly established Playful Learning Center. Playfulness is really now in the air. It has been in the air for a long time, but today play and playfulness has become of great interest not only of early childhood educators, but also people who are interested in lifelong learning in 21st century society. For us, playfulness is a state of mind. It is about creativity. It is about a creative mindset, person who is able to contribute to this society, to create something new. It is about humor. It is about playful mindset. Of course, today it is also about playing games, such as digital games and other sorts of games. But we, in our Playful Learning Center, are taking a broad conceptual focus to playful learning and seeing it as part of lifelong learning. We are so pleased this new Finnish national curriculum for preschool and basic school education is now already available, and it soon come to an effect. Playful learning for us is at the center of this curriculum. Here we emphasize holistic, inquiry-based learning activities, learning environments and pedagogies. We emphasize the development of identities, not only young people and that are able to know a lot, but also who are able to create new things, work, play with ideas, and to become active agents in this society, not only passive receivers of knowledge. And all disciplines we hope to promote in integrated, playful learning activities.
How do you think that fits together with playful computer writing, writing to read?
I think it fits perfectly well. Playful writing as at the core, one of our core focuses. Here you do not see writing and reading as separate activities or as separated from authentic life situations, but part of it. And we should give our children and young people opportunity to engage in authentic activities that are not characterized by distinct focuses in terms of disciplines, and even in one discipline like literacy, just concentrating on reading or just concentrating on writing, but concentrating and seeing literacy as a holistic process, and that each supports each other.